T saw India bowl 30 overs. The West Indies added 69 runs and they lost 4 additional wickets. Remember that the West Indies won the toss this morning, elected to bat. They went to lunch at 68 for 4, and since lunch up to tea, they lost 4 additional wickets, so they went to tea at 137 for 8. The batsmen out so far: Tajnarain Chandapur bowled by Ashwin for 12. He faced 44 deliveries. He went one when the score was on 31. 2 for 38 when captain Craig Brathwaite in fact caught by Rohit Sharma of Ashwin. He scored 20 of 46 deliveries. The third batsman to go was Reefer, caught by wicketkeeper Kishan of Thakur for 2. He faced 18 deliveries. 4 for 68 when Jermaine Blackwood was brilliantly caught. A spectacular catch by Siraj of Jadeja just on the stroke of lunch, and Blackwood went for 14. The West Indies going to lunch at 68 for 4. They had faced 28 overs. They came back after lunch with the silver and Afanaz, and the silver went soon after. Caught at the wicket of Jadeja for 2. He faced 13 deliveries, 5 for 76. Hoda added 41 runs together with Afanaz, and when he was out, caught by the Thakur hooking at the ball, Thakur taking a good catch at square leg of Siraj. Hoda going for 18 after featuring in a 41-run partnership with Afanaz. Next to go was Alzari Joseph, caught by Yunatkat of the bowling of Ashwin for 4. Wild shots by Alzari Joseph, 7 for 124. And then the last batsman, Afanaz, who had batted quite splendidly for his 47, was caught by Thakur of Ashwin for 47. He struck 6 fours and 1 6. He faced 99 balls, and when he departed it was 129 for 8. They have moved on to 137 for the loss of 8. Play is about to resume after tea, and Roach and Cornwall out there in the middle. Cornwall is on 8, Roach yet to score. So in that session between lunch and tea, 30 overs bowled by India, 69 runs scored by the West Indies, and they lost 4 additional wickets. So not a very good position whatsoever for the West Indies, as I welcome back Lockett Sebastian.
Yes, and Andy started back just after tea.
Drives officially over the infield. This one will go into the extra cover boundary, greeting Ashwin with the very first ball after tea and hitting it over the man at extra cover. A good shot going inside out and playing a splendid shot there, and moving the West Indies total now on to 141 for the loss of 8.
Well, he might as well play some shots, Cornwall, because 141 for 8, he might as well.
Ashwin again bows to the batsman who is trying to flick it, not getting hold of it as he would have liked. Ashwin bowled 11 overs between lunch and tea, and he picked up another 2 wickets for the addition of 24 runs. Here he is bowling to Cornwall. Cornwall is watching the ball onto the face of the bat, strokes it there to cover, where Rohit Sharma picks up, and there is no run. Bright, sunny afternoon here at Windsor Park. Crowd, although disappointed with the... In fact, this one is hit down to the square leg boundary, just slightly short of a length, and Cornwall whipping it down to the square leg boundary. Another boundary there for Cornwall.
Yes, a long hop, Andy, actually from Ashwin, and Cornwall wasted no time in dispatching to the square leg boundary for 4.
So they would not be disappointed with Afanaz, although they may have been disappointed in the way he got out. But here is Ashwin bowling there to Cornwall. Cornwall is turning the ball down to backward square. Siraj comes off the boundary, and Cornwall ambers a single.
Well, that should have been 2 runs. I mean, really, if you're on a better runner, easily 2 runs. Easily.
But we saw it in the Dream 11 where he wasn't running any singles. He scored a 50 with 7 sixes and 2 fours. Did not run any singles. So it's not strange that Cornwall doesn't want to run any singles. The over comes to an end. The first one after tea, and a productive one for the West Indies. 2 boundaries coming off it, and Cornwall moving the West Indies total now to 146 for the loss of 8.
But singles are important, Andrew, and in cricket singles are important.
Yes,
Very
indeed.
important.
But Cornwall isn't one who likes that at all whatsoever, and it really is the difference between making 200 and having 175. If you take your singles, then they will add up, and they faltered even in the Dream 11 when he played for the Champion Reef Divers. They faltered when they could have had a better score. He was only relying on 60s and 4s, and that cost them many a game. So we're about to see Jadeja. He's bowled 11 overs, 5 maidens, 2 for 24. And himself and Ashwin, between them, they have 6 wickets. He had wickets coming through Siraj and Thakur. Siraj 12 overs, 2 maidens, 25 runs, 1 wicket. Thakur 7 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 15. Yunad got bowled 7 overs for 17 runs, 2 maidens. But here is Jadeja, bows, and Cornwall lunges forward, plays it back firmly to the bowler, and there is no run. So there are 2 slips, a silly mid-off, short extra cover, mid-off, long on, long off, man deep on the mid-wicket boundary. And Jadeja has all sorts of variations. He flights it occasionally, and then he pushes it through. He tempts the batsman, as this one is stroked there powerfully to the right of extra cover. Sharma is in the way and prevents any run. Lovely conditions prevailing here at Windsor Park, as a quicker, flatter delivery there by Jadeja, and Cornwall is equal to it, plays it back along the track to the bowler. So not a very good performance by the West Indies whatsoever, and that certainly wouldn't encourage too many people to turn out here, as Jadeja bowls another delivery, which Cornwall allows it to go through to the wicket-keeper. Jadeja once again bowls the delivery much closer to the off stump. You could see the fieldsmen holding their head. This one was passing perilously close to the off stump block as the over comes to an end. And at the end of the over, the West Indies, they're in all sorts of trouble here, and certainly they would need almost a miracle if they had to get to 200. They're 146 for 8, and that's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
Well, Roach can bat. I mean, we've seen him put on partnership for many times. Cornwall himself can hit a long ball. So no doubt 2 of them they would be looking to put on a partnership. West Indies need to at least get to close to 200 in the first inning.
Ashwin to bowl to Roach. Roach covers up, plays it to cover, and there is no run. So just to look at what they have done in their career so far. We have Kemar Roach. His highest score is 41. We would need it here today. And we have Cornwall. His highest score is 73. So how much they would require these runs from these 2 batsmen. Here is Ashwin bowling from over the wicket. Gets the ball to lift there on Roach. Roach handles it well, drops the bottom hand, and the ball just trickles behind the stumps for Ishan Kishan to pick up. Ashwin is with the ball once again. Right arm off spinner. Floats this one. Roach is sweeping down to Siraj, who is coming off the deep backward square leg boundary, and will get just 1 run. A much better crowd this afternoon, if you can call it that. For sure, people have turned out. It would have been much better if Afanas was on 60 going. We would have seen a packed house. At least not packed, but at least some of the stands would have many more people than presently. Here is Ashwin. Decides to go around the wicket, and the batsman is driving. An opportunity for a single, turned down there by Cornwall. Clearly a run there, the ball going to the man coming off the long off boundary, but Cornwall not interested. So on he turns, trying to go past the bowler in his follow through moves to his right, fields, and the over comes to an end. 147 for the loss of 8, the West Indies, and that's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
Well, I didn't understand that of the penultimate ball.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the credit union of Grenville, takes you where you want to be. Feel secure with the Credit Union of Grenville, taking care of all your financial needs, including savings, loans, mortgages, and sound financial advice. Serving you with branches on Jubilee Street in Grenville, Lucas Street in St. George's, and coming soon, our Grandand sub-office. Call us on 442-8602 or visit one of our offices. With Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, your financial security is guaranteed.
Draft test over at the
Queen's
Park
Park
Oval in Trinidad. So Jadeja from the river end, the media center end, was a quicker, flatter delivery, low trajectory on this occasion. He hit a few, varies his balls quite nicely, Jadeja. But just when you think that you're going to get a flighted one, he pushes it through. Pushes this one, and the batsman Roach, always good in defense, Roach, and doing well on this occasion, finding Captain Sharma there at short extra cover. Draws the batsman forward, a loud appeal. The Indians may have been feeling that there was pad before bat, but they're consulting, they're coming together. Sharma, Rohit is asking, and you know the bowlers always like to believe they've got their man, but I do not. The reaction, the body language from Rohit Sharma does not suggest that he will go for it. Well, and he has gone for it.
Well, they have 2 more reviews, so they might as well take it. I mean, 8 wickets down, they have nothing to lose, even if they were to lose that review.
So they have gone for it, and we're going to watch it on the monitor. It's coming forward, the bat and pad close, but it looks like it was struck before the bat. Lockhart, what do you make of it?
Well, it looks like pad first, and that could be curtains for Kima Roach. It looks like pad first, and if it's pad first, he could be in a lot of problems. It could be out, but it looks like the pad first.
So they're going over it again, pitching in line, impacting the line, wickets hitting.
And he's out.
And yes, he's out.
Yeah.
So that's goodbye. Roach goes, and the West Indies lose their 9th wicket with the score on 147. Roach goes for 1, and the West Indies in further trouble. 147 for the loss of 9 wickets.
And Andy, I'll say again, this is not a 147 for 9 pitch. Pitch has been slow really. Ideally you would want a harder pitch where the ball comes on more to the back, but that's not a pitch where you should be 147 for 9.
Most definitely, I concur with you, Lockhart. That were the pitch. There was no devil in the pitch. You could see the opening bowlers did not get much out of it, and it's only when Ashwin came on. I always said that it would be a different proposition when Ashwin and Jadeja came on. But there wasn't anything unduly that should have disturbed the West Indies batsmen to that extent.
Well, we've seen some reckless shots today. I mean, we saw Azari Joseph, what he was thinking of, I don't know. We saw Jermaine Blackwood just before lunch with a shot I'm sure he can't be proud of sitting in the pavilion. So we saw Craig Brathwaite himself trying to hoist the ball over the mid-wicket. So there have been a number of poor shots today, and the West Indian team, having won the toss, obviously they must be very disappointed with the kind of performance they have put on today at the Windsor Park.
Yes, very disappointed. We remember in 2011 they were dismissed for 204, but they managed to score 322 in the second innings thanks to Shandapol with 116
and
Kirk Edwards 110. But it's a different day, it's a different time, two different sort of bowlers in Ashwin and Jadeja. As Warrican comes forward to the first delivery, faces from Jadeja. Floats this one outside the off stump, dangling the carrot as they say for Warrican. And he bowls left, but he's batting right. And can the West Indies get on to give them 150 first and then try to see if they can go on to 175. But first things first, the over comes to an end. At the end of the over, 62 overs have been bowled. Cornwall is on 17. Warrican yet to score, and the West Indies 147 for the loss of 9. That's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
Well, now is the time for Rakim Cornwall and to really play some shots. I mean, he's batting with the number 11 batsman, 147-9. Now is the time for him to try and hit a couple balls over the boundary.
Well, indeed. He doesn't want to run singles, so I guess the only way out is to get going, get attacking, but they have realized that they've posted a man deep on the wideish long on boundary. The field is well spread because they realize the intent of Cornwall. There's a deep mid wicket, a man on the deep square leg boundary, and certainly they realize Cornwall is not interested in singles. So let's see if they can get him out, going for the big hit. As he comes forward, ball goes to Unadkat at backward point, and they can score. So Ashwin, the most wickets at the Windsor Park.
Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk-behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
The Gynecological Cancer and Prevention Clinic advises the general public that its office located in Main Street, Satires, will be open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The oncologist, Dr. Santos, now attends every Thursday by appointments only. The ophthalmologist, or eye doctor, attends every 15th of the month. Call us to book an appointment today on 423-3352 or 444-4272.
No run as the ball goes once again to the man at the backward point position. The over comes to an end after 63 overs. Cornwall 18, Warrican yet to score. The West Indies 148 for the loss of 9. That's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
Yes, and we have lovely weather today. Lovely. You look at the lovely blue sky, brilliant weather, and I'm sure most spectators would have been looking for West Indies now, who have been about 220 for 2 or 3 now, looking to get to maybe 400 by lunchtime tomorrow.
And that is what would draw crowds. Mm-hmm. If you have that kind of a performance, you would expect people coming out on Thursday, Friday, and eagerly looking forward to the weekend.
Well, I don't think that will happen unless you have a storm tomorrow on Friday. That surely will not happen.
Here is Jadeja, Cornwall playing out the back foot, and the calls for a run, and sets off for it, and much quicker on this occasion, and gets in the run.
And players must understand, they're the ones to bring people into the ground. If people are not performing, nobody will want to come to the ground. Surely not. So they must know that they must perform if they want to see crowds.
Most definitely. Here is Jadija.
Because I heard Craig Barfitt before the game asking people to come out. But people are not going to come out to see a team just after T149 for 9 in a test match on a pitch which is not doing anything out of the ordinary.
Yes, I quite agree with you, Lockhart. You've got to perform and have the crowd behind you. Had the West Indies be 118, 130 for 2 or thereabout, but to lose 9 wickets on the first day after having won the toss, it's really not acceptable. Drive in there, Warwican finds Jaiswal in the way and he can score. Jadija draws the Warwican forward, he plays it down on the onside. The man will come off the deep square leg boundary and they will take 1. So the 150 is posted. 150 for the West Indies, coming off 63 overs and 5 balls. So the 50 came off 20.5, the 100 43.5, and now the 150 in 63.5. Floats this one outside the off stump, trying to tempt Cornwall. Cornwall lets it go through to the wicketkeeper, and the over comes to an end. The West Indies exactly 150 for the loss of 9, which is the latest score here at Windsor Park.
This team continues to struggle, and we don't want to sound repetitive, but it has been a very poor performance. Disappointing. Most West Indians probably embarrassed by what has happened today, having won the toss, and it's really shameful, really, Andy, what has happened today at the Windsor Park.
Yes, there isn't much you can describe it other than shameful. You win the toss, bright, sunny conditions, everything in your favor. Were it not in your favor, you would have sent India into bat. You recognize that that is a pitch where runs can be scored. You've gone in there, and by tea time you're 147 for 8.
Yeah, and sometimes you wonder if the players, if they don't think, think of the public. The West Indian people, in fact, last week you heard some prime ministers talking about they want to meet with the West Indies board. To do what? What are you going to, the prime minister, what are you going to say to the board? What can you say? I mean, when you see that kind of nonsense, I have to call it nonsense, you have seen today. Yeah.
Yes, it's performance which attracts the public, and if you're not performing and you have already failed to qualify in the World Cup, which was a disincentive, and now you come to the Windsor Park and you perform, you give that sort of non-performance. You can't call that a performance. Lack of performance. As Warwican comes forward to the first delivery of a new Ashwin over. Once again, Ashwin is deceiving. He was going for a heave, then he checked the shot, plays it there. The man coming off the long on boundary, and Cornwall not interested in a run. And appeal for a catch. The umpire, Goff, isn't too sure. Did the ball hit the bat? Is he claiming that he's going to have a word? So apparently he felt that there was a nick.
Well, the fieldsman himself is not sure whether he caught it, so that's why he was looking towards his teammates, and probably the umpire might probably try and have a look, but the fieldsman himself wasn't sure if he caught it cleanly.
So they have asked for the review there, and it was the fieldsman there, Shubman Gill, under the helmet at short leg, and we will have to look at it, the decision pending. And when these things happen, you would think that the umpire thinks that he got a bat or nick onto it, but was the catch taken? Yes, he
clearly hit the bat.
The glove, yes.
Yes, clearly.
And is the catch now taken, diving forward?
Looked like it bounced to me. It looked like it touched the ground.
Yes.
It looked like it touched the ground.
Yes.
I don't think that's a clean catch at all.
No, bumper ball, they would call it.
It looked like he took it. It bounced before he caught it.
Yes, it hit in the glove there. You can see it clearly hit in the glove, then the thigh, and then lob in there. Gill forward. Is his hands under the ball? No, you can't
touch the ground. That ball touched the ground. No way. Yeah. That should be given out. No way.
Yes, that cannot be given out. And one recalls in the last test match when
Was it Stark?
when Stark took
caught
a
the
ball
yeah.
and they said
He was in control
of his body. He was in control of the ball, but not in control of his body. But this sparked a lot of talk all around. And let's watch it. They're watching it over and over. But clearly, from that angle, is his fingers under it, Lockhart? I think they're watching it very long.
Well, I see the field's been walking off. Maybe they feel it out. Maybe they feel it out. I mean, they're walking down, and the umpires haven't given out yet. But maybe the umpires feel he's out.
So it's Marius Erasmus, the TV umpire.
Yes, he's a TV umpire. He's out.
So out, yes, out. So West Indies, all the wickets, 150 all out. Warwican goes for one, caught by Shubman Gill off Ashwin. Ashwin ends up with figures of 5. Yes, taken 5 wickets, and Cornwall is left not out. So West Indies all out for 150. Just Ashwin 24.3 overs and 6 maidens, 60 runs, 5 wickets. So what a performance there by Ashwin.
Yes, and you know, he continues to take wickets. And this guy, Ashwin, most times he's always the odd man out when India looking to leave out someone. He's come here today, having been left out in the World Test Championship final in England, and he's come and taken 5 wickets here today. And his spin partner has also bowled very well, Rajendra Jadeja.
So Warwican, Jomel Warwican going caught by Shubman Gill at short leg of the bowling of Ashwin, and Warwican getting just 1 run, and the West Indies dismissed for 150 just about 24 minutes after 3 o'clock on the first day of this, the Cycle Pure Agapafi test, played here at Windsor Park. Bright sunny conditions, and to just go through the scorecard, we have Brathwaite went for 20, Chandapur for 12, but just to give you the bowlers as we have it on the board, Siraj 12 overs, 1 for 25, Ashwin 5 for 60 of 24.3 overs, 7 overs, 1 for 15, Jadeja 14 overs, 7 maidens, 3 for 26.
I wonder, Andrew, how the bowlers feel now. They won the toss. Obviously, when West Indies won the toss, I'm sure the bowlers were looking to put their feet up and really the entire day. People like Zari Joseph, Kima Roach, they now have to come out and bowl just after tea in hot sun. Surely it can't be very pleasant.
Certainly not, and to be out on the first day of a test match, not getting 200 runs, your back is against the wall, there's no doubt about it, and I do not know, they would have to try to dismiss India for, let's say, less than the 150, or maybe just restrict them to just over 200.
Well, you don't want them to have a big lead, that's the first thing, because if they have a big lead, with the type of batting you have, it'll look like the game could be over before tea on Friday afternoon. Yeah.
So the only contribution, the main contributor was Alec Afanaz on his debut, made 47. It would have been nice.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Sissons.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sissons.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sissons. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
5 for 60, picking up 3 wickets. Thakur and Siraj 1 apiece, and the West Indies, a dismal performance, all out for 150 on the first day of a test match which is supposed to be of 5 days duration, and the West Indies certainly, they have lost their way totally. Can they bounce back with a few quick wickets when they come out there on the field.
Well, and the Indians have a very long batting lineup. Faku is batting at number 9, and he came back. Ashwin at 8, Jadeja at 7, Ishan Kishan at 6. So this is a powerful batting team, and unless you can get an early breakthrough, you could be in serious trouble tomorrow, chasing leather all day and having to come into bat on Friday to ensure that you don't lose the game by Friday afternoon.
Well, not good news for the West Indies and the public, the Dominican public. They were anticipating a very good game. You could hear them often as getting runs. The West Indies will do well, and certainly it has not turned out so. It's a great disappointment for the fans. They still love the cricket, and we are hoping that they will still turn out. But as you said, no tickets printed for Sunday. They might just have to come out to watch the signal band. But
well, maybe they wouldn't have the signal band on Sunday because nobody will be there and nobody will be at the ground because after. But how low can we go in the Caribbean? I mean, we had the T20 World Cup last year. We didn't qualify. With the 50 over qualified Zimbabwe, we didn't qualify. We lost to teams like Scotland and Netherlands. Now we come here to the first series in the next cycle of the World Test Championship, and we put on that sort of performance. People have to be watching that, come and even and listening to it and watching it on television as well. Really, so you wonder what is the answer on the cutter? What can be done to see a difference in West Indies cricket? I just don't know.
Well, that's a big question. What can be done? Because you heard the talk that they had done a good session over in Antigua and things were looking up. And when you come here, you find that you're all out for 150. Certainly not good news for the West Indies.
And it's the way you're getting out. I don't mind if you get out. You get a good ball. You like Shonda Paul this morning got a good ball that spun and it bowled in. But when you see people swiping before lunch, swiping after tea, all this sort of thing, I mean, surely it's not good for West Indies cricket. And it really is not good for people's heart in the Caribbean too. People get sick watching this sort of thing, Andy.
Yes, when you watch the way Rifa got out, caught behind, playing at a wide delivery on a first day. Then you had Blackwood just before lunch playing a wild shot. De Silva played back to a ball which was very close to him.
Azari Josie played a wild shot as well. Jason Holder had been hooking up when he should be hooking down to set the trap.
Just when he had a good partnership going, 41 runs and building up, and then he lost it. Azari wasn't on at all. You don't expect much from Roach and Warwican, and in the end, a total disaster.
Pathetic, what we're saying. I mean, really, it's not good for your brain and your heart and watching this sort of thing. Honestly, people who haven't got strong hearts probably be worried about what's happening.
The umpires are coming out once again. I'm going to hand over to Andrew McLean. He will have the commentary. He will let us know, and we do hope that he can bring some fortune to the West Indies team and that they can pick up a few quick wickets.
Well, I hope so. I hope Andrew can bring the West Indies luck that will probably pick up, 2-3 wickets this afternoon. I am sure a lot of people, even though they want West Indies to get wickets, would want to see Virat Kohli making a few runs today. But West Indies really have to bowl very well to come back in this game, because when you score 150 runs on the first day of a test match, you are way behind. As I welcome back Andrew.
Yes, good afternoon, Lockout Sebastian. Good afternoon to listeners on the Cut and Drive network all around the Caribbean. From a delightful day here in Dominica. I must say I'm very impressed with Heston and the team who've put this together. We've got this beautiful spot, open, not behind the glass. I feel like I'm in the ground. It's a nice view. We're not directly down the pitch, but we're adjacent, so it's good. As the ground staff just make their final the final bits of work they've done. They've got a very light roller out there at the moment. The West Indies players already out on the field. Just a reminder, just looking at the match officials, we've got Jeff Crow, the New Zealander, of course. He's the brother of the great Martin Crow. He's the match referee. We've got Murray Erasmus who's doing the TV.
Somebody said to me he doesn't live in New Zealand. Is that true?
Yeah, I believe he lives in the States.
Yeah, somebody told me he lives in Florida.
Yeah, I think he does, yeah.
And they said to me he's a big chef as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody told me. In fact, Peter Matthews, a good friend of mine, told me he's a big chef. He likes cooking. And he lives in Florida, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, he was Martin's elder brother. Of course, played for New Zealand as well. And the umpires are Michael Goff and Richard Kettlebrook, both from England. Just a reminder, earlier today, West Indies won the toss and opted to bat. And at that point in time, Craig Brathwaite and the management team would not have been expecting to be coming out shortly after tea with only 150 to defend. But for us cricket lovers, we get the chance to see Yashavi Jaiswal, who's going to be making his Test debut, or his first knock, his first batting in Test match cricket. He's 21 years old and he averages 80 in first class cricket in 15 matches with 900s and 250s. Scarcely believable. It's going to be Kemar Roach now. Just looks like there's just a delay, something with the sight screen. Jaiswal's not happy there, so
maybe Andrew Jaiswal and Shubman Gill, that must be the future of Indian batting in the next few years, eh? Jaiswal and Shubman Gill.
Here's Roach, round the wicket to Jaiswal, and he's looking to pull that first ball. It didn't really rise too high, and it went through to wicketkeeper Joshua De Silva down the leg side. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, Rohit's 36, Kohli's 34, Rahane's 36. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So young people, and then you still have Gaikwad in the dressing room, who's also on tour as well. Ruturaj Gaikwad.
And then you've also got Prithvi Shaw potentially waiting in the wings as well. Here's Roach bowling to Jaiswal, and he just lets that one go through the keeper. So yeah, I read somewhere that India's been looking for a left-handed opening batsman for some time, and obviously giving this young man a chance. Shubman Gill dropping down one place to number 3. Of course, Cheteshwar Pujara has been left out of the side. He's playing county cricket for Sussex at the moment, not on this tour. Here's Roach again in the river end, bowling to Jaiswal, and he's defending that into the covers, where Alec Azanade picks up the ball, and there's no run.
You look at the body language of the West Indies fields, and they don't look all that positive, Andrew. Look at them on the field.
Well, not really a surprise, has to be said, given how they've performed with the bat. Here's Roach again, around the wicket, bowling to Jaiswal, and it's defended once again, so no runs so far in this first over. So just looking at the field, we've got Joshua De Silva, the keeper, and we've got two big men, two very tall men, one slightly wider than the other, Cornwell and Holder in the slips. So they'll cover a lot of territory between them there. This time it's down the leg side once more from Roach, straight through to Joshua De Silva, and there's no run. So, no runs off this over so far. This is the last ball of the first over. It's Roach once more, and Jaiswal's defending into the covers where Azanade fields, and there's no run. So at the end of the first over, it's a maiden. That's the latest from Windsor Park.
Yes, good first over from Roach. Good pitched that ball just about middle stump. Yajwal playing in his first test match, very watchful, no doubt looking for a big score, looking to have big debut, and no better person to be opening the batting with on your first test than Rohit Sharma, a veteran who has made many runs for India. So it's a good partner to have, and the captain as well, and during the first test.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when I was looking at Rohit's stats yesterday. We know him so well from his one-day exploits. And he batted down the order for so long for India, but before they elevated him to opening a few years ago. He's actually only played 50 tests. Yeah. I was really surprised when I read that, but 914 50s, averaging 45.22. So it's going to be Alzari Joseph. He's a very impressive performer in recent times in all formats of the game for the West Indies. Here is Joseph bowling to Sharma, and he's just tucked up there, just defending it into the ground, and it's picked up at mid-wicket by Warrikan, the left-arm spin bowler. Oh, that's a horribly wide ball down the leg side from Alzari Joseph. No chance of De Silva stopping that. It's gone for 4 wides. Steve Harmison would have been proud of that.
Yeah, it was in the Ashes, I remember. Was it?
Yeah.
When he bowled it wide, it was like 5 wides really. It was so wide outside the after. Steve Harmison, you're correct. This one was extremely wide, this one from Alzari Joseph.
So that's one way of getting off the mark, I guess. Here's Joseph again, and Rohit onto the back foot, pulls that one away, out through square leg for 4. Very, very elegant shot from Rohit. Just easing back, playing with a cross bat, out to the deep square leg boundary for 4.
Well, that's a trademark shot from Rohit, Andrew, as you know. Lovely stroke by square leg. Well, Joseph should know that. I mean, that's one of his favorite strokes for a shot.
So they've immediately made a change to the field. Has Craig Brathwaite, Warrikan going to deep backward square as well. Leg that's in place. So 2 men not too far away from each other. Here's Joseph into Sharma. He's struck on the pad. That's very close, I think. Huge appeal from the West Indies. I'm certain this is going to get reviewed. Let's see. Keep an eye on Craig Brathwaite. And yes, he's referred that to umpire Michael Goff to go to the TV umpire Murray Erasmus.
Well, I can only surmise that hit him outside the off stump, because that ball kept low, and we will have to watch the monitor to see if it was outside the off stump, because that looked very good to me if we look at it on the monitor.
It's possibly a question of height.
Maybe height, yeah.
I don't think it's missing the stumps.
No.
Past the leg stump.
Yeah. And was it going up still? Did it still have some way to go? Yeah.
It's on the crease though.
It could be umpire's call. It could be umpire's call.
What, you mean just clipping the bails?
Yeah, clipping the bails. It could be umpire's call.
Yes, there's no bat involved.
Could be. That's the only thing I believe could happen. Umpire's call.
Michael Goff is both of these umpires are excellent umpires.
Could be umpire's call. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Well picked.
Yeah, I'm correct. Yeah, umpire's call.
Yeah. So the impact was in line.
Yeah.
It looked like it was hitting the bails, but as Sebo pointed out, it is umpire's call. So Sharma there, beaten it must be said. It was a good ball by Alzari Joseph. Wouldn't say it nipped back or jagged back, but he was just beaten right in front of the stumps, but height saved him on that occasion. Here's Joseph to Sharma once again, inducing a false shot through to Joshua De Silva, and there's no run.
Well, that ball kept a little low, Andrew, and then so the wicket played some tricks because it kept a little low.
Indeed, it did indeed. Yeah, I think that went under his bat actually. Here's Joseph once more from the Botanical Gardens end. This time it's outside the line of off stump, and Rohit lets it go through to the keeper De Silva, and there's no run. Here's Joseph, last ball of the second over, coming into Rohit. He works that one off his pads, out to the man coming in from the boundary, that's Warrican, and one further run to the total. Rohit through to 5, Jaiswal's with him yet to score, and after 2 overs here at Windsor Park, it's 10 without loss.
Not a bad first over from Azari Joseph. We saw that close call for LBW against Rohit Sharma, and umpires call it was, but a goal from Azari Joseph.
Indeed. So just looking at this field again, we've got Raheem Cornwell at first slip, Jason Holder at second slip, Marlon Blackwood at third slip. Marlon Blackwood at third slip. Then we've
Marlon Black?
Oh. Sorry, not Marlon Blackwood, Jermaine Blackwood. Marlon Blackwood, what am I?
Well, Marlon Black, you know there was a Marlon Black who played for West Indies.
Oh right, was there? Jermaine Blackwood. As Kemar Roach starts a new over from the river end, and Rohit just lets that go through the keeper. And we've got Warrican at point, we've got Athenaeus at cover, we've got Reefer at mid-off, Craig Brathwaite at mid-on, and that means out on the deep square leg boundary, it must be, is that Chanderpaul out there, I think? Mm-hmm. And then at fine leg, that must be Joseph. So here's Roach coming up past umpire Kettleborough, and Rohit's watchfully forward in defence, and there's no run. What do you think's a good outcome for the West Indies today, all things considered?
At least two wickets today, at least. They need at least 2 or 3. 3 would be happy, but at least 2.
Here's Roach, steaming in again to Rohit. He's forward. Finds the middle of the bat, but just finds cover where Athenaeus does the fielding. Of course, he made his test debut earlier today. Batted extremely well for his 47 before he just mistimed one off Ravichandran Ashwin, and the ball lobbed up to Thakur at mid-off, and mid-on I think he was out for 47. Here's Roach again to Sharma, and he's driven that one out through the covers, and it's going to run away for 4 comfortably. So just a little bit too wide there from Kemar Roach. Rohit had to reach for that one, and in the end took his hand off the bat as he hit it. So he hit it in one hand, so it was actually aerial for a while, but there was a huge gap between cover and point, and it raced away for 4. So that's the second boundary so far for Rohit. We had 1 behind square, and now we've had 1 through the covers. He moves on to 9 off just 10 balls. 2 balls left in this third over. As Roach just loses his run, let's go back to his mark.
And Andrew, everything seems to be just quiet now at the Windsor Park. The crowd, I'm sure they're disappointed. The West Indies players themselves, they look like their shoulders are dropping, and it looks like a red atmosphere at the Winter Park Stadium right now.
Yeah, indeed. Here's Roach to Rohit once more. This time it's wide of off stump, and Rohit came forward but let that one go through to the keeper, and there's no run. And the clouds have just come in slightly here, but they don't look threatening. So let's hope it does. It looks pretty clear, but the sun just has disappeared for the time being. It's Roach once more, approaching the crease, and Rohit solidly forward in defence, finds Warwick at point. And that's the end, third over. It's 14 without loss here at Windsor Park.
And you know, Andrew, you look at Kima Roach now, who have been an outstanding servant for West Indies cricket. And you wonder how long can he go, because nowadays he can hardly put batsmen on the back foot. You notice the guys that are just coming forward because he doesn't have the pace anymore to put batsmen on the back foot. So you wonder now after this series, what will be Kima's decision in terms of going forward for the West Indies?
I mean, just looking at what we can see with the naked eye here, we don't have a speed ball radar on the television monitor, so can't really get a feel for the pace. But my impression from what I've seen so far is he might not be bowling as quick as he once did. Here's Alzari Joseph, who is bowling pretty quickly. That one is wide of Jaiswal's off stump and through to wicketkeeper Joshua De Silva, and there's no run.
And you remember that series where Kima Roach tested in Australia, in the series where he hit him a few times, and he used to bowl very quick, but nowadays he doesn't have the pace and he doesn't swing it as much, so he'll struggle because batsmen now can just come forward. And like I say, I don't know how long after the series, the next test match in Trinidad.
Here's Joseph again, and it's a repeat of the previous ball outside the line of off stump, and left well alone by the debutant Jaiswal, who's faced 8 deliveries now, yet to get off the mark. So he'll have a few nerves, but he's obviously very accomplished. As we've mentioned a few times now, he scored 900s in 15 first-class games, so I'm sure he'll be patient enough, just bide his time and wait for the ball to get that initial run in Test cricket, to break his duck, so to speak. Here's Joseph. And this time, ooh, it's an edge in fact, but it just didn't carry to Jason Holder at second slip. So Joseph looking dangerous here. He had a great shout for LBW against Rohit in the previous over. This one has found the outside edge of the bat of Jaiswal. The ball sort of straightened on him. He played across the line, got an outside edge, but it bounced about a yard in front of Jason Holder at second slip. There's another one from Joseph. He's just lost his line slightly there. It's down the leg side. Jaiswal looked to play it, but just couldn't catch up with it. Through to keeper Joshua Silver, and there's no run. Joseph once again, that's a short ball, and Jaiswal sways out of the way, and Joshua De Silva leaps for it, can't quite get to it, and it's run away down for 4 byes. So Joseph getting some lively pace going and getting some assistance from the wicket.
Yeah, he's bowling pretty quickly, and I thought the keeper could have done better though, Andrew. I thought the keeper could have done better.
Yeah, I think he just mistimed his jump there.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to remember that ball's coming through pretty quickly as well, though, right?
But he's standing far back, so he could have judged the bounce of that ball.
Here's Joe steaming in past umpire Goff, and this time it's down the leg side again. So just letting Dryswell off the hook a little bit there, Alzari Joseph, after getting him in a little bit of trouble earlier in the over. And anyway, that's the end of the fourth over now. It's 18 without loss, the West Indies, here at Windsor Park.
Yes, not really making the batsman play. And Andrew, we just heard the guy on the PA system urging the crowd to rally around the West Indies and try to cheer them up. But the crowd seemed to be flat and very flat. If you watch the people in the stand, people look to be very disappointed.
I think their best chance of that happening is if Brian Lara comes out of retirement.
Well,
bring him in at number 3.
Well, he's a perfect team.
Here's Roach bowling a new over to Rohit, and he just runs that one away wide of gully. Jermaine Blackwood does the chasing, and it's 2 runs for Rohit. Takes him on to 11. So a brisk start from Rohit Sharma, the Indian skipper. 11 off 13 balls. Well, I've been buzzing since I was speaking to Sir Kirtley. It's just, that's one of the beauties of this job, is you get to see your heroes, you know. I remember the spell that he bowled at Perth. We'll come back to that in a moment.
It's Australia, eh?
Yeah, here's Roach to Rohit Sharma. Just works that into the leg side, but Craig Brathwaite's there to cut that off, and there's no run. 7 for 1 was that spell that Ambrose bowled at Perth. Unbelievable. It's probably going to be the greatest spell in Test cricket of all time, in terms of wickets and runs.
Well, he was an unbelievable bowler. Eh? Fantastic, great, very miserly, hardly gave you anything to hit. That was a great bowler, great person, in fact.
Actually, I asked him, I said, because, come back to that. Here's Roach once more, wider on the creases, so it pays that out to point where Warrican does the fielding, and there's no run. While we were on commentary, Athenaeus the ball just glanced his helmet, so they had to have the concussion check and all that. I said to Ambrose, I said, did you hit many people in your career? He said, actually, hardly ever. He said, I wasn't worried about that. Yeah. I wanted to get them out.
Exactly, exactly. He was just a great bowler.
Yeah, his length was just immaculate, wasn't it? Here's Roach, spearhead of the current attack, bowling to Rohit Sharma, the Indian captain. And it's defended up to his counterpart, Craig Brathwaite, at mid-on, and there's no run.
In fact, his first-class match, I was captain of the Windwards at the time. We played against us in Antigua, Leeward Island. That was his first-class match. Kirtley Ambrose. He played against us. I was the Windwards captain at the time in Antigua.
And he was in Antigua
for his
Leeward
first
Islands.
match for Leeward Islands. Yeah.
Wow. Rohit just lets this next one from Roach go through the keeper. So how old would Sir Kirtley have been at that point?
Well, even when he started, he developed to be this great fast bowler. But you looked at him from the first time and you looked that there was going to be something special from this guy, from that guy at the time. Yeah, in Antigua, I remember it clearly.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself. A taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Hope they didn't have too much water to drink. All I'm hoping. Because they seem to be very quiet. We haven't heard them for a while.
Oh well. They're certainly adding to the atmosphere. It all dies down as Joseph comes round the wicket this time to Jaiswal, and he swings at that one outside off stump, just flaying at it really, no feet movement, and it's through to the keeper, De Silva, and there's no run.
He still hasn't gotten off the mark. He's faced, what, 12 balls now? Joshua?
Yeah, 13 balls. I wonder what the record is for the most balls without getting off the mark in debut is. But this time he finds the middle of the bat, but it's cut off there at mid-off from a straight ball from Alzari Joseph, and Jaiswal did well, but couldn't beat the man at mid-on, which I think is Ramon Rifa, and there's no run.
Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk-behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
This time it's a cut, and it's cut beautifully. What a way to get off the mark in Test cricket from Jaiswal. He lifted that over point out to the boundary for 4 in front of the scoreboard. Just looking at the replay again here, Joseph dropped it a little bit short and he just guided it on its way to Jaiswal, and well stopped by a security guard actually out there on the boundary. Here's Joseph, and this time it's pulled away by Jaiswal, but there's a man out on the boundary, restricting it to just 1 run. That's Chandapal out there. But yeah, from going from very defensive, he's played 2 very aggressive shots and 2 balls, and he's moved through to 5.
That will help his confidence.
Last ball of the over now. Here's Joseph once again. And Rohit pivoting on his back foot, works that ball round the corner, down to deep fine leg, and that is Ramon Rifa down there. He does the fielding. Rohit takes a single, he moves on to 12. India now at 26 without loss here at Windsor Park.
Well, the bowlers now are not really posing many problems for the batsmen. The batsmen seem to be very comfortable now. Jaiswal having gotten off the mark, and Rohit has looked good.
Have looked very good. Now, I ask you a question related to the sponsorship. What does this mean?
Well, it's an Indian firm out, Indian company.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's an Indian company.
Cycle Pure Agabathi.
Surely not a Caribbean company. It's an Indian company.
So all of these are. Yes Bank must be as well,
yes,
right?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Dufferbed definitely
yes,
is.
Yes, Indian company. Well, you know, the Indians rule the world now in cricket. Some people say the BCCI, the ICC, some people say.
Yeah, well, actually New Zealand played Pakistan in a series last year before the T20 World Cup. As Roach comes into row, he defends, and there's no run. Yeah, tri-series between New Zealand, Bangladesh and Pakistan. The sponsor of the series, this is in Christchurch, the sponsor of the series was a Bangladesh, it's called Banglawash. Some sort of Bangladeshi company was the sponsor of the series in New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Here's Roach again, sun shining on his back as he comes up, and Rohit looks to whip that one way down the leg side. There's an appeal. They look confident, the West Indies.
Roach does.
Yeah, holders seem pretty confident.
The keeper seems to be pointing towards the pads. He probably thinks it hit the pad.
And they're not going to review.
Andrew, when you're from Wellington, if there's cricket in Christchurch, would you come down to watch because of the distance?
I don't think they hit anything at all there.
No.
No. I mean, probably if there was a game on in, say, Palmerston North, but they don't play any international cricket there. No, I think, well, come back to that. Here's Roach once again, and Rohit's looking to hook this one, but completely misses it, and it goes through to De Silva. Yeah, I think, like, if it's related to, like, say, a holiday, so, you know, if you happen to be in Mount Maunganui, for example, you'd probably go to the game, or if you happen to be in Queenstown, you'd go to the game, but no, I wouldn't think of travelling as a fan to go to Christchurch or anything.
Or to Hamilton? Too far?
If you lived in Auckland, you'd go to Hamilton.
Yeah, in Auckland, it's close by, right? Yeah. Because you're what, 15 minutes away? I mean, from.
It's about an hour from most places. Here's Joseph.
I'm talking from Hamilton to Auckland.
Yeah, about an hour.
Yeah.
Yep. Hi to my grandmother in Hamilton, if you're listening, Grandma.
Okay.
Yep. Just had a single there to Rohit Sharma. Just worked that into the leg side off Roach.
Well, you live in Wellington, but that's a distance from Hamilton to Wellington, isn't it?
6 hours.
Right. Okay. Very nice people, New Zealanders. Getting a bit dark, Andrew.
Here's Roach round the wicket to Jaiswal, who's driving. It's well stopped by Chanderpaul at point, cut off the runs. So Roach has been tidy so far. He's just conceded 7 runs off 3.5 overs, but without really looking threatening either. I think Joseph's gone for more runs, but he's looked the more dangerous. But yeah, it is getting a bit cloudy. Here's Roach. Once more, and it's just left alone by Jaiswal through to the keeper De Silva. So Rohit's on 5, Jaiswal's on.
The Gynecological Cancer and Prevention Clinic advises the general public that its office located in Main Street, Satires, will be opened on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The oncologist, Dr. Santos, now attends every Thursday by appointments only. The ophthalmologist, or eye doctor, attends every 15th of the month. Call us to book an appointment today on 423-3352 or 444-4272.
Jimbo, as is more commonly known. So it seems to be coming on from the southern end, Andy, that is Rackham Cornwall.
Yeah, so India had spin after 9 overs. West Indies have spin after 7 overs. Let's have a little look here at Cornwall's record. I had a look at this yesterday, but my memory's not as I get older. 9 test matches. Oh, sorry,
about 38 wickets?
This is batting, sorry. Yeah, 9 test matches, 34 wickets at 37. The best of 7 for 75. So he comes in. Bowls to Rohit. Rohit just defends. So we've got a short leg, short mid wicket, a slip. and essentially a ring with 2 men out. Here's Cornwall to Rohit, defending, there's no run. Wow, I thought I had a short run up when I bowled off spin, but I think Cornwall's is even shorter than mine. Here he is. And he's defensively forward, prodding at it, and there's no run. Here he is, Cornwall. And that's worked into the leg side by Rohit. They jog through for a single. Rohit moves on to 14. India move on to 28. And that brings the left-handed Jaiswal on strike. He's on 5 off 19 balls. So Cornwall's opted to go round the wicket immediately. There's a short leg, but no man on the offside catching. And Jaiswal sweeps beautifully. Area out to the boundary for 4. Picked the length immediately and played that perfectly. Raced away for 4.
Very well played by the youngster, making his debut at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium.
Actually hit that in the air, but there was no danger there. There was no fielders out there, so very well played. Here's Cornwall to Jaiswal, last ball of the over. Jaiswal's defending, and there's no run. So at the end of the 8th over, Rohit's on 14, Jaiswal's on 9. India are 32 without loss here at Windsor Park.
Yeah, very quiet over from Cornwall, not looking threatening in his first over. Sort of beautiful sweep shot from Yashwal to the square leg, and the Indians continue to hit. They are 32 without loss now. It's to bat till the close.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Sissons.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sissons.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sissons. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
The media center end has replaced Kima Roach, and they bowls the first delivery here to Rohit Sharma, who defends, and there is no run. So India having a good start, 32 without loss. Rohit Sharma is on 14, Jaiswal is on 9, and that is in reply to 150 scored by the West Indies, of which Alec Afanaz scored 47, Craig Brathwaite 20. It was Cornwall 19 not out, and 18. And Yorker length delivery hitting the batsman on the foot there. Certainly a painful blow struck there by Azari. It's never nice for a fast bowler to hit you on the ankle. You would know about it, Lockhart.
Well, maybe the toes, it might have been the toes it hit. Yeah, or maybe the bat hit the bottom of his toe. I don't know what has happened. Probably when we look on the monitor, we'll see exactly what happened.
Well, painful blow, you can see it. Here is it, watching it on the monitor. In fact, he played the ball onto his right
his
back leg, yes. And certainly he's hopping around. But he's off strike now as Azari prepares to bowl from the river end. Here he goes. 3 slips go down. Azari bowls a short of a length delivery. The batsman covers up, pushes it there to Roach, filling at the short mid-wicket, and he can score. So Rohit on 15, Jaiswal on 9. It was Ashwin who picked up 5 for 60, and Jadeja, he picked up 3 for 26. Siraj took 1 and Fakur took 1. They were the leading wicket takers for India, and dismissing the West Indies for 150 on the first day of the cycle pure Agapafi test. Here is Azari Joseph, and he's driving the ball, peeling out the outside edge of the bat. It's going down to the third man boundary. The fieldsman gives chase. He stops the ball just in front of the boundary. Good stop there. And the batsman limited just to 2 runs. But you can see that Alzari is generating some good pace. He's certainly a yard or 2 more than all the other bowlers on show so far. Not even Siraj bowled as quickly as he is doing presently. And here is the ball going, and just about a foot or so, Chandapal getting his hand onto it and preventing the ball from going into the boundary. Delivery from Alzari, covers up there is Jaiswal, pushes it to captain Craig Brathwaite. They're at mid-off. 35 without loss. We're in the 9th over. India trail by 115 runs. And it's just about 13 minutes after 4. I think they will go to 90 overs or just there's a time.
Well, you can play an extra half an hour to get to 90. If you don't get it by 5 o'clock, you can play till 5:30.
Okay, so if you're bowled your 90 overs and it's 5 o'clock, play stops at 5.
Exactly.
But if you're short, you keep on bowling till 5:30 to see if you can accomplish getting 90 overs. Final delivery, they're bowled by Alzari, and the end of the over, 9 overs has been completed. India 36 without loss. Rohit Sharma is on 15, Jaiswal is on 12, and that's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
The bowlers not really posing any problem for the Indian batsmen. Both Sharma and Jaiswal seem to be very comfortable, and they're not really in any.
No whatsoever. And the West Indies, they're trying to use Cornwall from the same end which they saw Ashwin bowl, and he's in his 2nd over now. The West Indies introducing spin after 7 overs. Roach having both Botanic Gardens end and Alzari from the river end. Now they've switched, where they've brought Alzari from the river end, and now Cornwall is in his 2nd over. His 1st over yielded 5 runs. These 2 bats. India boast of a strong batting line. This one is skied, but over the man there at backward point, Kima Roach, and the batsman crossed for 2. But going a 4 shot there by Jaiswal, going to hit the ball and not in complete control of the ball, skying over Roach's head, and he got 2 runs. Here is Cornwall bowling from around the wicket, right arm. This time he's swinging, missing. The wicketkeeper, De Silva, dislodges the bills, but Jaiswal is well grounded.
Looked to be spun, the ball spun a bit, and he was looking to hit past extra cover, Joshua.
But he did not really go down the track, stayed in the crease and swung, luckily for him, as Cornwall, right arm off spinner, floats and he's sweeping down to Chandapal at deep square leg, and will get an easy run. 1 more to Jaiswal, he moves on to 15. Rohit Sharma is also on 15, and India, in reply to 150 scored by the West Indies, 39 without loss. But the rain usually comes from the east. Whenever I see it's dark over in the southern area, it's really not too much of a threat. It's really when it comes from the east. The over comes to an end. Cornwall completes the 2nd over. None for 8 after 2. And certainly the West Indies 30, in fact India 39 without loss, in reply to 150 scored by the West Indies.
Yeah, but Andy, you say sometimes when it comes from the south, but sometimes you can move from the south to go to the east, and then you get rain here. For somebody who played so much cricket here, when you look towards the lower area, as they say,
yes,
and you see it a little dark, you probably know that we're going to get some rain.
Yes, that's the area I'm fearful for, but it's not looking too dark at the moment. You can see some grey clouds over in the east, but certainly not threatening play at this point in time.
Well, I'm sure most people wouldn't mind some rain to extend the game. rain, watch it out some so that you can have an extension, because if you don't get rain, we could be out of here by Friday.
So it's going to be Azari Joseph to continue. He has bowled 4 overs, which has cost 20 runs. And he's bowled with some aggression and some pace. Here he is. 2 slips and a gully go down. Has the batsman Jaiswal covering up, plays it back to the bowler, who fields well in his follow through. So no breakthrough yet for the West Indies. The drums, the Sakis, Joe Cabway, they've come here to really spur on the West Indies team, but alas, they have let down the fans here at the Windsor Park, and even those who were intending to come will have been disappointed. Here is Joseph, bows to Jaiswal. Jaiswal is playing this one. Emmanuel Field, Warrican, comes off the long leg boundary, and they take 1. So not the best of deliveries there from Azar Joseph, directing the ball on the legs of the batsman, maybe trying to get a bit more bounce, but not the pitch not responding. And it's a pitch where you've got to work hard, and it was a pity that West Indies gave away their wicket so easily on a pitch where you would think that the bowlers would have had to put much more effort, but they gave their hands away, and that's the way it is, that's the way the game goes. And umpire Kettlebro is ushering somebody to move behind the bowler's arm. Richard Kettlebro and Michael Goff, as Azari Joseph bows good pitched up delivery, and Sharma is in behind it, correctly so, and they would do well to get rid of Rohit Sharma, because I can tell you this man has had a double century. 212 is his high score, 900s and 14 50s. So he's a no-nonsense batsman, one who has a 45.22 in 50 tests. He came onto the scene late as a test batsman, but he has shown his worth, as this one is driven straight back past the bowler. This one will go into the boundary. A superb Sharma just coming forward to a ball pitched up to him, and he stroked it beautifully past the bowler for 4.
Yes, a lovely stroke by Rohit Sharma. As you said, he just came forward and didn't hit it too hard. Just got in the middle of the mat, and it went quickly to the straight boundary for 4. And Sharma looking very good, and in fact both batsmen are looking very comfortable at the moment.
It's an ominous sign for the West Indies,
yes,
with people like
Shubman Gill and Virat Kohli
and Rahane.
Yeah.
It's a long batting lineup. Ishan Kishan making his debut.
Jadeja at 7 can bat, and we know.
Here is a delivery directed on the legs of Sharma. Turns it down to short fine leg. The silver gives chase. The signal comes from the umpire, a leg by. And even Ashwin, who relishes the West Indian bowling, in his centuries, all his centuries,
5 of them,
all against the West Indies. So you'd fancy his chances.
Maybe he mightn't bat, Andy. There might be a declaration before, who knows?
So you're telling me that there might be some 100 for 4 or 5?
Well, I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that West Indies can come back in the game and hold them out. I'm hoping that will happen.
Here is Joe's well up delivery. Batsman Jaiswal finds Roach in the way, stops the ball well. The over comes to an end. Azari has bowled 5 overs, none for 25. India 45 without loss after 11, and that's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
Yes, they're only 105 behind, and so if we get to after the 5, they should be probably close to 150 by close of play, maybe over 100, probably something like 40 runs short or something, if we get to 5:30.
Well, the question is, who can pick up a 5 or 6 wickets for the West Indies?
Well, the spinners look like they will have to do the bulk of the bowling, both Cornwall and Warrican.
So Cornwall has already bowled 2 overs, which has cost just 8 runs. We have not seen the introduction of Jomel Warrican, the left-arm orthodox bowler. Just a matter of time before we see him being introduced. Because there isn't much in it for the fast bowlers. We saw the Indian bowlers, they did not really get much assistance from the pitch this morning, and it was until Ashwin and Jadeja got into the act as Cornwall bows to Sharma, who plays it to mid-wicket and sets off for a run, which he gets it quite comfortably in the end. 20s, 46 without loss, India. We've been blessed with good weather. When you think of what happened yesterday and on Monday, it was felt that there wouldn't be any cricket as Cornwall.
It is said the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself, a taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Rakim Cornwall. So Cornwall making a return to the West Indies team after a successful, here is a ball which strikes him on the pad, Jaiswal, and the over comes to an end after over 12 overs. India, in reply to 150 scored by the West Indies, they have 48 without loss, and that's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
And you know, and it must be painful for Caribbean fans to be feeling this every time, like at this disappointment in West Indies cricket, and it continues to go on, and you don't seem to see any light at the end of the tunnel. The team seems to be doing, whether it be 50 over, whether it be 20, you know, in Test cricket badly all the time, and it really, really, really has been embarrassing for Caribbean people. A team like the West Indies that dominated world cricket for over 16 years, and now to have to feel that pain we have been going through in the last few years. And it's really sickening when you see what's happening with West Indies cricket.
Well, we're about to see Jomel Warrican introduced from the River End. Cornwall in the regional tournament picked up 35 wickets, Permore 28, Akim Jordan 22, Brian Charles 21, Makino Mindley took 19 wickets. And as Sir Curtley was saying, you bring the spinners, they take wickets in the regional tournament. When you bring them on in the test arena, they do not perform. And they had gone through that. Clive Lloyd had tried. Indian spinner took almost 16 wickets in a match, and
Harwani or something like that. Narendra Harwani.
And then
our spinners couldn't take anything.
And Butts had won for 103.
Correct.
So they really, Clyde Lloyd said, never here again. It's going with it. This one is struck hard and high. Where is it? It's gone over the mid-wicket boundary. 6 runs there. Picking up a ball there from Warrican and hoisting it over the deep mid-wicket boundary for a 6. Massive hit there by Rohit Sharma. So these are the same bowlers who take wickets. Can they perform here? Here is Warrican, left arm, bows to Sharma. Sharma comes forward, pushes it to cover. Afanas picks up and there is no run.
In fact, Permal earlier this week made a statement, Andrew, saying that what has he got to do again to get back into the West Indies team. He made that statement.
But as Curtly Ambrose quite rightly said, you bring them on and then they perform well in the regional matches, 35, 40, 48 wickets, and then when they come in the test arena, their performance just dips. There's nothing from them. Here is Warrican. Draws the batsman Sharma forward, plays it to Afanaz, who is at extra cover, and there is no run. So Sharma is on 26, Jaiswal on 18, 54 without loss. And here is Warrican once again, draws the batsman forward. Much better delivery. The over comes to an end. The first one from Warrican, which caused 6 runs, and at the end of 13 overs, 54 without loss, and it's time for drinks.
Yes, and so far the Indian batsmen, 54 without loss. They played very well, both Sharma and Jaiswal. They haven't looked in any difficulty at all. Azari posed problem briefly. He bowled with some pace, but apart from that, the bowling hasn't looked threatening at all. And both these batsmen are very comfortable. But goodly, they only had 95 runs behind, having bowled out the West Indies for 150. So at the moment, Andy, we can say India in a very strong position.
Indeed, a very strong position, and with the batting still in the hut, I can tell you it will be a long day for the West Indies. And,
you mean tomorrow?
Tomorrow will be very long for them, and I dare say that the Dominican public would maybe more come out to see some good batting from the Indians, because they see them on TV and they know the class of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Some of the young players. Shubman Gill, very good player. Jaiswal, who was
Kishan.
very impressive in the IPL. So there's good talent on show, and they will have to just come and witness good cricket. But that's the position, 54, already under 100 runs, and certainly the picture doesn't look good for the West Indies.
No, surely not. Surely not. I have to say India in a very strong position. 2 batsmen look to be well set, getting themselves in, and it's going to be very difficult for the West Indies bowlers tomorrow, Andy.
Well, they've got to have a performance such as Ashwin. Ashwin took 5 for 60. Jadeja 3 for 26. Thakur picked up 1 wicket, and Siraj worked hard for his 1 wicket, and they really kept the West Indies down on a pitch, as you quite rightly.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the credit union of Grenville, takes you where you want to be. Feel secure with the Credit Union of Grenville, taking care of all your financial needs, including savings, loans, mortgages, and sound financial advice. Serving you with branches on Jubilee Street in Grenville, Lucas Street in St. George's, and coming soon, our Grandstand sub-office. Call us on 442-8602 or visit one of our offices. With Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, your financial security is guaranteed.
Up to now.
Well, I dare say that he has decided that he said it in his interview that he expects the wicket to take some spin, so he has resorted to Warrican and the Cornwall.
Well, he said that last time in an online press conference that he was going to play 2 spinners. Since yesterday he said that, Chris Bradford.
So the West Indies 150 came off 64 overs and 3 balls. So far, India, they have made their runs, they're 54 runs, and without losing a wicket. And certainly they would want to keep on going, the Indians. At the end of the day's play, they would want to at least get to 100. 64 and 13 would be just about, 77 overs, 3 overs. So not too many overs left.
Maybe about 10.
10 or 12, thereabout. So without much further ado, after this over, I will hand over to Andrew McLean. Andrew McLean once again to maybe take you to the close of play. So we'll just watch this one over. 13 overs have been completed. Cornwall begins his fourth. Here he is. Floats this delivery there to Jaiswal. Jaiswal opens the face of the bat, and Roach comes from backward point, fields, and there is no run. So the West Indies, they need a breakthrough, and they need it quite quickly. Short of a length, he goes back and punches it square of the wicket. Beautiful shot, using the crease, going back, judging the length well, and hammering it through the point region for a beautiful shot there, Lockhart Sebastian.
Oh yes, the youngsters seem to be growing in confidence, young Chashu, and playing very, very well.
Good, using the crease, going back and cutting beautifully there to the boundary. Here is Cornwall once again. Bowes the delivery, could see the ball spinning away from the left-handed batsman, Jaiswal. Jaiswal is on 22, Rohit is on 26, and India trail by 92 runs. Here is Cornwall once again. Bowes, a good delivery there, spinning
and
away.
Bouncing as well.
Yes, we saw that sort of bowling from Ashwin when India bowled, and Cornwall seems to have got that line right, so they've moved the short leg to silly mid-off. Here he is. Bowes draws the batsman forward. Blackwood will move from slip, pick up, and there is no run. So final delivery of Cornwall's fourth over. Final delivery of the 14th over. Sweeps, and the ball is going down to fine leg. Blackwood gives chase, they run one, they'll come back for two, and two is all there'll be. So certainly getting some bat onto that ball there. Jaiswal, he moves on to 24. Rohit Sharma is on 26. India 60 without loss in reply to 150 scored by the West Indies, and that's the latest score here at Windsor Park. After some words from Lockhart Sebastian, it will be Andrew McLean to take you to the close of play.
Yeah, well, the Indians looking very comfortable. They no problems at all with both the openers, and really when you look at the crowd, they are all very quiet. It doesn't even look like a test match now, Andrew. The crowd, they've gone quiet. They have not been inspired by the West Indies team, the way the players look on the field, and it's really a sorry sight what's happening at the Windsor Park Stadium right now. As I welcome back Andrew.
Thank you very much, Lockhart Sebastian. It's nice to have you be in your company again, as I see Raheem Cornwall's just wandered off the field. I don't know if he's just taking a break or what. But, so here's Warrican bowling round the wicket, left arm round the wicket to Rohit Sharma, and he's just defending away into the offside, and there's no run. Warrican again, bowling to Rohit, and Rohit's just defending to backward point, and there's no run. So a very, very solid start here by the Indian side. There's two spinners already. We've got the left armer Warrican on now, and at the other end, of course, we've got Raheem Cornwall. Here's Warrican, around the wicket I should say, to Rohit Sharma. He's just defending. So this is better from the West Indies, at least they're not giving away easy runs. Bowling a tight line is Warrican. This time Rohit square, there's no one there, so Blackwood has to jog over and pick that one up. So one further run to Rohit. That takes him on to 27. That brings Jaiswal on strike to face Warrican. He's bowling to a slip, and a short leg, and then 3 men saving one on the offside. There's Warwicken, and Jicewell cuts beautifully behind point down to the boundary for 4. Just waited on that and cut it savagely away for 4. That is the end of the 15th over. India are 60 out loss here at Windsor Park.
Yes, and the youngster continues to play very well. Young Jaiswal, in his debut test, playing extremely well. And together with his captain, they're really leading an inspired fight against the West Indies for the Indians. Well, the Indians, in fact, today bowled very well to limit the West Indies to 150.
As we see a bowling change coming up now. I'm not sure exactly why Cornwall went off the field, but I did see him go over. So we've got Jason Holder is coming on at the Botanical Gardens end for his first spell of this innings. See if he can get any assistance from this rather benign wicket. Sir Curtly Ambrose mentioned on air that he thought this pitch was bereft of grass, which he didn't think is the way it should be. There's nothing we can do about that now because we're into the last hour of the first day's play. Here's Jason Holder steaming in, bowling to Rohit, and Rohit works that one off his legs, out country, and one run to Rohit. That takes him on to 28. The field having to change over now for the left-handed Jaiswal. Umpire Kettleborough walking from square leg on one side to square leg on the other side. And let's see what sort of field they put in place. So we've got Alec Athenade at first slip, Jermaine Blackwood at second slip. Here's Holder, and Jaiswal just lets that one go through to the keeper, and there's no run. Sun's back out again. That's good. Stays that way for the remainder of this match.
Well, the forecast for tomorrow is good, Andrew.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's
it's
good
good
to
for
hear.
tomorrow. Should be getting sunshine all day tomorrow.
Yeah, well, if you're the West Indies, it could be a long day in the field in the heat tomorrow.
Very long day, could be. Very long day.
Here's Holder. Bowling to Jaiswal, and he lets that one go through the keeper, and there's no run.
It could be a long and depressing day as well, Andrew.
Long,
depressing day.
Depressing. It's not really an advertising slogan for what you want. Hey fans, come along to a long, hot and depressing day.
Because when you only make 150 and a team probably at the close of play probably 80 or 90 without loss, and you have to come all day tomorrow, you're probably hoping that rain of a storm would come really.
Yeah, here's Jason Holder once more. Bowling to Jaiswal. Once again, he lets that one go through to Joshua De Silva behind the stumps, and there's no run.
Because when you get up in the morning and you remember you have to go be there all day, you are behind. You are way behind in the game, and the only outcome that you see in front of you is defeat. So it doesn't really encourage you to want to come to play.
And so we've still got a fair few overs to go yet today too. So what do we have? This is the 16th over.
And West Indies bowled 60,
64.
So that's 80.
80.
Two between overs, so maybe about 8 overs to go.
Yeah, okay.
We'll probably go till maybe about 20 past 5.
Is that a shower coming over the ground?
Well, a drizzle. I'm looking towards the east. There seem to be a few clouds up there. The umpires seem to be going out.
Yeah, they're going off.
Yeah. Well, temporarily, we hope. They cut the ground staff on. They're all dressed in yellow and they're running towards the covers now.
Yep,
the ground staff.
Man racing out there to whip out the stumps.
Yes, and the ground staff are running on.
Reminds me of Barry Wilkinson's friend in Kingston. In,
Trinidad?
No, in Barbados. A guy called Colin. He looks exactly.
That's him.
Is that Colin?
That's Colin. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, he travels with
all about it. That's him. Yeah. That's Colin.
I thought it looked like Colin.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, just for the benefit of the listeners who are wondering what on earth we're talking about, is a guy, he just runs on. It's almost before the rain starts. He just knows. He runs on and he takes out the stumps, and he gets the pitch ready for the guys to bring on the covers. And so they've just brought a cover on. It's raining ever so slightly, so...
Well, as I look towards the east end road, it's not all that bad. If you notice, the rest of the groundsmen are not really coming on, so it doesn't look like we're really going to get maybe to be a short interruption.
I think they could just come straight back on, couldn't they?
"100 days for the job, 0 for the thief. Feeling smarter than me? Part 3. How convenient. Girls night out and she ex in tongue. Well, it just so happened that all of the tires on the car air down. So if she want to horn, she gonna have to horn me on foot. Say what you want, but